in November, the Raiders lost a thriller in their first game against the Chiefs. Can Kansas City do it again? The answer comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
From one of the loudest venues in the National Football League, you get a look there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Evades the tackler and now some space. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in.
And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So here are the Raiders now with great starting field position. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got some turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Hurts. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The KC offense and Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the ball back here. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And, see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Three and a half to go, first quarter. They'll start with the option. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head, his head coach and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10. Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Well, these two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. Pushes past him. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs becoming just the 2nd player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown. And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, "Coach." He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football. Because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
Another miss.
Still on his. Defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On 2nd and 2, Hurts. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll run it with Jacobs, and he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. And that is caught. It's Ruggs. Touchdown, Vegas. Henry Ruggs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And shutting him off, now open field. Taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. And he will be taken down deep in Las Vegas territory. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Tackling's obviously critical down near the goal line. That was great work there to make the hit behind the line and make sure he doesn't get any further. Did a really nice job wrapping up and not letting him loose.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Running from the gun with Howard. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Raiders pick it up. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That's caught left side by the tight end, Gray. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he'll give it here to his running back.
These two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the Chiefs who got the road victory there, so now looking to claim the season series at home in KC.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Mahomes now to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. It'll be a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Jalen Waddle deep to return it. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Here's Hurts to throw.
It's caught. Smith. And some room to work. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Come on, baby. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st down, Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
88 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop?
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And powering through at the 35. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Hurts. Got his connection complete to Ruggs. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Off the option, here's Jacobs. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 116 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And heading out for another drive, the Raiders defense. And of these highlights that we show here, I think the big thing to put an asterisk next to, 3 fumbles.
Swarming, swooping, making it happen, knocking the ball free. So many teams work on it, but you don't see it work quite as well as we're seeing here in this game. And they mix in taking one out of the air a little bit too. This team is swarming like crazy and making big plays.
They'll set up the screen to Howard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now after the offsides penalty.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
56 to Mike. 56.
Now here's Mahomes. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. On first down, Hurts. They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here we go. Mike 56. Mike's 56.
Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll make it 2nd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was the Cowboys who get the win at home. Trevor Lawrence, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Next, we'll visit the other team in Texas as we head down I-45 to check on the Texans at home in Houston. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Deshaun Watson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And a big part of their success on the scoreboard is their success in the running game. Over 100 yards as a team in those first 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they didn't have quite the same kind of success running the football, but still, not bad for one half of play. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. 125 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Mike 56. Mike 56. And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. 19 quiet. 56. Go.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. So don't say nothing.
On 2nd down and 4. Hurts. Pass caught by Ruggs, middle of the field.
Here we go.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
60 Bison. 60 Bison. Mike 56. Mike 56. It's our time.
On first down, Jacobs. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Stop.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Second down and 3.
56, right there, 56. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch one.
Hurts sets up to throw it. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's Jacobs. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On second down, Jacobs.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Running is Jacobs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Here's Jacobs. And this carry brought to an end at the 8. Good stick skills, just not much room there to operate. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
A handoff. Jacobs running to the left. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll run with Jacobs.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. Such a...
Drive here, 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Here we go. 56 the mic, boys. 56.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off around the 27. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll find Ruggs on the right side. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. They'll come out in the pistol.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Big edge. Big edge. Big edge. Share.
On second down now, it's Jacobs, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs
standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
So, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 25 on second down, Mahomes. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd.
Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end, Gray.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st down, Mahomes. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. That is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And again, it's Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. Get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Hey, 43, 15.
Mahomes now on first down. Now he's flushed out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Mahomes firing complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down. as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Mahomes going to throw. That's caught by Howard. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Mahomes now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that, because we got to try to keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check right. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Shoot. Right there.
Right back to Drake. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Hardman on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for KC. He leaves this one for Howard. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Extra point by Butker is on target as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll back up a few steps as he'll make the fair catch at about the 8-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
It's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Las Vegas, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.